here we are at Luna Park. Park with the girls.
The girls aren't here.
They're too busy doing rides, and we're not doing rides because we don't want to spend $60 a ticket to go on the ride.
No, I don't want to vomit everywhere. Thank you.
There's nobody screaming. That was loud.
Wash your hairband. What was that? We literally walked out and the rest of them all like it was not scary. I saw okay, next because I could see like it's happening like I can start to lose my cool. Take me where that rhythm is racing. Let me feel dancing through.
So that's the view behind me. So you can see the harbour bridge and stuff. Pretty cool. It's actually a really nice spot in the harbour, and it's actually good to come here and take pictures even if you're not planning to go on any of the rides. You don't have to pay the $60.
Playing my game right now, right this second. And outside the fence.
So how much is there? There's $6 a pop.
What's that?
There's $6 a pop. That's really cheap. Wow. Maybe the cup's made of gold or something.
Good. To the Tango train, please take your assigned seats, making sure the larger persons to your left, making sure that all hats and bags have been taken off and placed on the walkway platform next to your cars. In a moment, we'll come around and close those lap bars for you. The Tango train. This is the wild ride. It does go quite fast, so please make sure you sit up nice and straight. Slide over to the left of your chair. Keep both feet on the floor, and for the safety of yourselves and those around you, please keep all mobile phones away. Now we're going to go forwards. Forwards is just as fast, so make sure you step nice and straight. Slide over to the left of that chair.
I was like,
Was that even fun?
I saw her doing that. Okay, this one's the two of you. Maybe sit next to each other. This is a large, so I apologise. We want more, we can get more. Thanks. Luma.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Very frosty still. Two blue, two pink.
So guys, that ends our Luna Park video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy. She doesn't like song. Did you get it?
I've got it down again, but it's only video though.
That's so nice of them.
To do it after we sang happy birthday.
Don't do it at
Not
your
in the
seat.
middle.
Oh, no more. No more. Okay. You want cake?
This isn't chocolate, this is salt.
Yeah.
This is the salty
Yeah, what did
caramel.
you think?
I thought it was chocolate.
So hey guys, this is the next day and we picked a good day to go to Luna Park yesterday because today is absolutely freezing outside, just looking out there, and wouldn't be a good day to go. But anyway, I thought I'd have a little chat to you just to let you know about my thoughts of Luna Park and how it compares to some of the other theme parks that we've been to. And obviously the benchmark has been set quite high from our many trips to Anaheim and Disneyland Resort in California. And if you compare this particular amusement park to Disneyland, there's certainly absolutely no comparison. So we're not even going to go there. It's a matter of seeing whether I think it's worth the cost for us to go there and whether we'd go again. So basically, in terms of getting to Luna Park, it's at the bottom of the hill at Milson's Point, and we caught the train from our place. Whilst it was like 16 stops or something like that, there were no issues and it wasn't particularly busy. The other way you can get there obviously is by driving a car, and to be fair, on a Saturday afternoon there looked like there was heaps of on-street parking. They were all metered, however. I don't know how much they cost, but I would assume they'd be somewhere between $4 to $6 an hour would be my guess. But I'm not 100% sure, so you'd need to check on that. You can also come by ferry, so it comes from, I think, Circular Quay, and you can get there that way. And when you walk in, you just got to bear in mind that Luna Park does not charge an admission fee, so you can be free to walk around inside, have a look at the stuff, and you don't have to pay. And you only have to pay if you want to do any of the rides or if you want to do the Sideshow Alley thing and play some of the games. My initial impression of Luna Park is that whilst we got married and had our couple shoot and our bridal party shoot just outside Luna Park, and that was many years ago, but just bear in mind now that Luna Park does charge a substantial amount of money to have photos taken inside. So if you bring any professional gear or you look like you're doing something professional, and certainly if you bring a bride and groom in there or a couple, you're not going to be able to do that because there's security everywhere, and they will certainly ask for you to show a permit or a payment invoice, and if you don't have one, I'm pretty sure they're going to kick you out. The last time I inquired about doing a shoot inside Luna Park, it was in the vicinity of a couple of $100 an hour from memory. I'm not exactly sure how much it was, but it was not cheap. So that's something that you would end up having to pass on to your clients, and you just got to make sure that it's worthwhile. And is it worthwhile? Well, the scenery is pretty cool, and you get some nice sort of quirky, unique stuff inside. But I don't know that if I was a client that I would be prepared to pay an extra $200, $400, $500 or whatever it costs to do a photo shoot inside. But your mileage may vary, and your clients may be happy to pay that. So you just need to have a chat to them. On the subject of these fees, it just gives me the whole impression with Luna Park that because of its kind of pristine location and the fact that it's by the harbour, you can see the harbour bridge directly next door, it gives them almost kind of like an arrogance to it, and I don't know that I like that. So when you get inside, as I said, there's security who are going to check you out and make sure that you're not going to be doing anything that they can't get a payment for. And just little things like on the website it says you're allowed to bring a picnic, you're allowed to bring food into the premises, but all the tables inside basically say only food that's purchased inside Luna Park can be consumed on these tables. So they kind of kick you out onto the foreshore anyway. So yeah, it just greets me with a little bit of this sort of arrogant attitude that I'm not sure that I'm particularly happy with, and that it kind of is a little bit insulting, as I said, just because they know they've got such a great location, and they think that by being by the harbour in Sydney gives them that right to charge you for all this extra stuff. In terms of the admission price, it's not cheap. Like, yes, it's cheap compared to Disney, but there's probably 1/50th of the things you can do. There's about 1/1,000,000th of the atmosphere, and they charged, I think, was it $60 per person for a day of unlimited rides, which might sound really cool, but there's not that many rides, and $60 is a lot of money. And to top that off, just to kind of hit you in the side of the face with a baseball bat, is that they charge you a transaction fee if you use credit. So I think that's a little bit sort of unreasonable, and it's a little bit of sort of money scavenging, and I don't like that. I hate it when people charge a surcharge for credit card. Like, I know some people feel like they have to because it's got to be factored into the cost, but then factor into the price, and don't tell people that you're going to charge a credit card surcharge, especially in a situation like this. I think that it's just reeks of arrogance, and I don't like it. You have to make sure that you take your kid or your family member or your guest with you when you pay, because everyone needs to be at the ticket booth because they need to put the wristbands on at the spot. So you can't buy them in advance, and you can't make your kids do something else and you just stand in line. The kids actually have to be there, so just bear that in mind. My daughter and her friends, who are all about sort of 12, 13, 14 years of age, seemed to like the rides. The waits were not particularly long, so you're not looking at 2-hour waits like you do sometimes at Disney, and the most they had to wait was probably 5 minutes for a ride. Having said that, as I said, there's not that many rides. They're certainly not as high quality. They don't last very long. And whilst the kids enjoyed it, I think that if you've never been to a place like Disney, you probably think it's really cool. But if you've been to a real theme park, in exclamation marks real, I think that you may find that some of these rides are not as exciting and not as good as quality. In terms of the kind of the entertainment they have there, they have this couple of clowns who walk around, they have a couple of characters, and they have a little bit of a show where about 6 dancers come down the main street of Luna Park every couple of hours. It's a bit of a novelty, but it's nothing awesome. You do get to take photos with them if you want, so that's pretty cool. And we got some pictures with them, but there are no special characters like Mickey or Minnie like that, but I guess it's not the type of park that has that. In terms of the food offerings, they have just the standard stuff. They have like burgers and hot dogs and fries and stuff like that. We got some fries which were large. It was probably the size of a sort of a grande Starbucks coffee cup, and they were $6, so that was a bit of a rip-off. And the chips, or the fries, whatever you like to call them, weren't particularly fresh, and they tasted like they'd been sat there for a while, so it's not great quality. The fairy floss or cotton candy, depends on how you want to say that too, was $4.50 per stick, and the kids really enjoyed that, and I think it'd be a novelty that you can't get in most places, so I think that's a goer. The Sideshow Alley games are $5 per game, so you got to factor that into the price. I must say I didn't like what the toys look like or the prizes. They obviously can't have a lot of theme stuff, so they don't have Mickey Mouse or a Smurf or anything like that. It's kind of like generic soft toys, and they weren't particularly cute looking, so I don't think I'd pay for that. I think there is a restaurant or two or a cafe type stuff in there. We didn't try that. And there were 2 ballroom type situations where obviously if you're going to get married and stuff, you could go in there and get married there, and I'm sure it'd be a lot of money, but all in all it was a cool day. We only had 3 hours or so to be in there, and I think we could probably have done with another couple of hours. I guess you could spend an entire day there if you wanted to. And if you think about it, the annual pass, which I think is just around about $100, so if you go twice, it's probably better if you just buy an annual pass, to be honest. And then you can drop in and out if you're around that location. It does take a little bit of getting there, so if you're living quite a distance away, it may not be worth it. But if you're in the neighborhood or you're happy to just hop on the train, it's probably a good fun afternoon, sort of 4 or 5 times a year. So I think an annual pass will be probably much more worth it for you. There's the obligatory laughing face in the front that you can have a photo in front of, if you can get people to move out of the way so you don't have 100 people in your picture. And that's one of the main draw cards to the photography there for families and tourists and things like that. So all in all, out of 10, I probably rate Luna Park about 6 out of 10. It's not great value. There's just a few issues in terms of customer friendliness, and a few extra perks would have been nice. Just doesn't have that atmosphere of an actual amusement park, but I guess it's all about the location, isn't it? It's unfair to compare this to a Disney park because the scale is different, the rides are so different, and there's so many more, there's so much bigger. And Disney is basically larger than life, and Luna Park just thrives on its location and the fact that it's so close to the harbour, it's easy to get to, and it's the only amusement park in Sydney basically, so you don't have a lot of choice. If you've been to a Disney park before, like I said at the start of this part of the video, you're probably likely to be fairly disappointed with what you get, unless you take that out of your consideration and just enjoy the park for itself, and then you can make up your own mind whether it's good enough for you to come back. So, you know, we all know that Disney look after their customers better than anyone else in any company in any field of business. So Luna Park does have a lot to learn from that point of view, but it does what it does, and if you like it, you go. If you don't, you don't. So thanks for watching again. Hope you enjoyed my little review of Luna Park in Sydney. And as usual, if you like my stuff, please leave a thumbs up or a comment on my YouTube channel and subscribe for more videos. And in the meantime, hope you guys have a great Sunday afternoon, and I'll catch you again next time. See ya.